Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshiniim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopaniषदैः Gayanti Yam Samagaः Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura Suraganah Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Hari Om. In the last class, we saw that Bhagavan Sri Krishna talked about Jnana Palam, the Atma Jnana Palam, the benefit of gaining this self-knowledge. And he presented these benefits in different ways. Yajñātvā na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutanya seshena drakshasyatmani atomayi. By gaining this knowledge, hey Arjuna, you will not get into conflicts again. Now, there will not be any delusion, confusion. The mental conflicts will not be there. That's the very first benefit. You will have a clear picture of what to do when. You will gain that kind of a clarity. The second benefit is you will see the oneness of the Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam. You will see that. The identity of the individual and the universal self. and you will know that you are me. This is Advaitam. This verse is a Mahavakya. It reveals his identity. Then Bhagavan gives a third benefit, and that is the destruction of all sins. Api chetasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamah sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. Arjuna, even if you are the worst sinner among all sinners, you're top of the class of sinners, then also no problem. You can cross over all those sins with the boat of this knowledge. That's how great this knowledge is. The fourth benefit is said here as the destruction of all karmas. Yatai dhamsi samidhognihi basmasat kuruterjuna jnanagnes sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tata. Just as a well-lit fire, it'll burn down anything that you put in, all fuel that's put in there, it'll burn it to ashes. In the same way, this fire of knowledge burns down all actions. And then it was said, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddha kalenatmani vindati. Someone who has prepared his mind very well through a Vedic way of life, a religious way of life, will attain this knowledge. Now, yoga is actually a very broad name for all sadhanas. All that will purify you. And there is no other purifier that will equal this knowledge. Only knowledge can remove ignorance. Here we are talking about ignorance of the self. Only self-knowledge can do that. And it will also take care of all the ignorance-born samsara. This confusion, your karma palas, samsara, everything. So it will get rid of all of that. So we have seen up to this so far. Now we continue with verse 39. And in this verse, some more sadhanas are prescribed. Let us read. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Tatparas samyatendriyah. Tatparas samyatendriyah. Jnanam labdva param shantim. Jnanam labdva param shantim. Achirenadi gacchati. Achirenadi gacchati. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Tatparas samyatendriyah. Jnanam labdva param shantim. Achirenadi gacchati. Here, Shraddha, faith in the validity of the scriptures, is talked about here. This is a famous verse. And this phrase, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Only Shraddhavan eva, the only one who has Shraddha, only such a person can gain knowledge. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. So we should clearly understand what is said about Shraddha here. See, if I have a doubt in the validity of scriptures, because I'm not able to understand, something is said there, and I don't quite understand that. You may have questions, doubts, all that is fine. But when such situations are there, doubts, you can't quite understand what's being said. Don't dismiss that. You give the benefit of doubt to the scriptures and continue. Continue to listen, continue to study. Such a belief will be beneficial. Eventually, you will get to understand what you believed in. Initially, it may be just a belief. But when you continue this path, you will eventually get to know the truth. Your doubts will be removed. So you need to have that kind of faith. That is what is important. Of course, the teacher is there. The guru wants you to know the truth. And a guru worth his name will do everything for you so that you get this knowledge. He doesn't want you to have blind faith. We don't want to have blind faith. This word faith-based is tossed around these days. So you have to be very careful. What other religions talk about faith and what we talk about faith is very different. Most of the time, when they talk about faith, have faith in what I say. Trust me. Don't ask questions. We don't say that. Vedanta doesn't say that. And if somebody says, trust me, that is when your distrust should start. That is when you should ask questions. You should dig in only at that time. Very important. Very important. Okay. Our Shastras don't say you have blind faith. No. You begin with that, you ask questions, any number of questions you ask. So it is said, Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwashaha Shraddha. Trust in the words of the Guru and the scriptures is called Shraddha. With that, you continue. You can ask your Guru all your doubts and questions. You should get that clarity. A true Guru will entertain any amount of questions from serious students. Most of the time, we don't even know what questions to ask. Okay. And that is why great acharyas post the questions for us in their commentaries. Quite a few of you are studying Panchadashi, 11th chapter with Swamiji. And there, how many questions, how many objections are brought forth? The Purva Pakshi is there. Who is the Purva Pakshi? Somebody else coming and asking these questions? No. Vidyaranya Swami is just throwing in those questions himself. So that is the style. So the questions are raised. And then answers are given. There are manana texts for reflection that has these questions. We studied a great manana text, Advaita Makaranda. Each of those words posted a new question and answered that. And there are Siddhi Granthas also. Little bit advanced texts. But all of them, they raise questions and answer them. So even if you do not know what question to ask, those texts will raise the questions for you and then answer. So when you don't understand something, you just recognize, I don't understand. I should put forth effort and try to understand. I will not reject the teaching. I will try to get a clear understanding. This kind of an attitude is what we call Shraddha. So we have to understand what Shraddha means. Etymologically, it is Shrad plus Dha is Shraddha. Shrad means Sat, the truth. And Dha means which holds, which supports. So Shraddha is the virtue that holds, supports the truth. So if you don't have that, you won't gain the truth. So first of all, it is the faith in the existence of reality. Asti Brahma iti chet Veda santamenam tato viduruti. The faith is not there in the existence of reality. Then you won't have any desire to know that reality. If you do not have faith, you close the door that will open you to that reality. Next, you should have faith. Vedanto nama Upanishad pramanam. That Vedanta, the Upanishad, it is the pramana, it is the means to know the reality. So if you do not have faith in the pramana, which gives me knowledge, then again knowledge will not take place. Again, faith in the Guru, his nobility, wisdom, ability, all that is important. And last but not the least, one should have faith in one's own self, one's own ability. Yes, I can know the truth. If everything is there, but the person has a defeatist attitude, I don't think I will know it. No. I can, I will, and I must. Puja Gurudev has coined this slogan. So I can, I will, I must. So you should not have that kind of, attitude, I can do it. So, Shraddhavan, a man of such faith, labhate jnanam, gains the knowledge. He will gain conviction. Chandogya Upanishad says, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. The one who has the Acharya, Guru, will know that Purusha, that reality. Here it is, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. This is the experience of every Vedantic, successful Vedantic student. So have faith in scriptures, in the scriptures. The next sadhana given in this verse is tat paraha. Hold that reality, that truth, that Brahman, to be supreme, paraha. You should be sincere and be committed and hold that to be the supreme goal. You don't ask questions just for the sake of asking questions. We have 10 to 15 minute Q&A every class. To be able to ask relevant questions, you should have listened attentively to the previous 45, 50 minutes. We also have discussion groups. And people will have to come prepared. Should have read the verses that are going to be discussed. Should have read through the commentary on the verses. If you do all that, then the discussion will be fruitful. You will do that if you are committed to the pursuit of this knowledge. Otherwise, you will be a casual listener. So there is a lot to be done. Homework, even though it is not assigned, has to be done. That is manana. Without manana, not come. Either you will have no doubts, or you will raise unrelated, irrelevant, frivolous doubts. Commitment is a must. Quality time is required. This is called tatparatvam. That's why I make all whatever resources I can, make it available, the video, audio, the transcripts, everything. It's up to you to make use of all those resources. Tatparatvam, hold this to be the ultimate. That is not there, Shraddha will not be dynamic, enthusiastic. It will be there, but so. Majority of people are like that. They are believers. They have belief. They have faith in God. But quite often it is only for material benefits. If I have God on my side, I'll get it. And their efforts is also for worldly things. In that case, tatparatvam is absent. That supreme, that goal is not there. That kind of Shraddha will not help you spiritually. It's still good to have faith in God and take His help. That has its own benefits. What we are talking about is a different level of Shraddha. Tatpara. Then, samyatendriya, ability to focus. Even to sit and listen with focus for a 1 hour lecture, tremendous amount of discipline is required. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'll have to commend all of you. You're coming week after week after week, month after month, year after year. So you do have that. Not that you don't have, you do have it. Some people have Shraddha, they have Tatparatvam, but lack this Sanyama. This discipline is not there. Sense control is not there. Something else comes up, and they skip this class. Some friend comes over, come, let's have 10 o'clock is your class. It's okay. You can skip one day. And after all, this Gita class, it goes for 5.5 years. If you just miss one class, it's not going to hurt you. Let's go have a nice brunch. Perfect time. After all, I've come from out of town. Memorial Day weekend I've come. I'm not here every weekend. Come, let's go. Very convincing. You should have the strength to say, this 1 hour, 10 to 11 is for Gita class. We can have that brunch a little late. After 11 o'clock is fine. Yeah. Then you have sense control. Otherwise, that's why Bhagavan cautioned us in the second chapter itself. Indriyani pramatini haranti prasabam manah. The senses are so powerful, they hijack weak people. Their mind, it will be hijacked. Jitendriyata, mastery over senses, very important. So these three sadhanas, Shraddha, Tatparatvam, commitment, and thirdly, Samyatendriya, sense control, etc. If a person follows all these disciplines, Jnanam Labdva, he will certainly get this most wonderful knowledge, wisdom. And then the result of this knowledge is Param Shanti, permanent, supreme peace of mind. This is also important. Suppose I say you get that knowledge and Punarjanma, no more. What is the proof? That there is rebirth is a matter of belief only. That there will not be rebirth, that is also a matter of belief. How can you be sure? There is somebody who is a jnani and he has attained moksha and he is not reborn. Or if I say in such cases you go to Vaikunta or Kailasha, what's the proof? These are all Atindriya Vishaya. You cannot check it out. I have not been there, you have not been there, and even if you or I get there, we don't come back to tell others. So, Bhagavan does not give a posthumous benefit. He promises a benefit here and now. And you can check it out. So Sri Krishna assures us the peace of mind will be there. You can attain that here. He has given that promise. You will get it here and now. And this is not any peace of mind. It's not temporary peace of mind. Param Shanti, supreme, everlasting. That kind of a peace is possible. If you ask, how long will it take for me to attain that peace? Achirena adhigachati. Not very long, he says. For the knowledge to flow as peace of mind, we just need to take care of our old habits. That is all. We will see more of this in the 6th chapter. We have some habitual problems that just don't go away even with intellectual knowledge. Viparita bhavana. I've talked about it many, many times. That's the only thing that's stopping us. Old habits die hard. Our actions are governed by knowledge as well as vasanas. Knowledge will take care a part of the problem, but we have to take care of those habits that stem from vasanas. Changing those habits involves deliberate efforts. Not that easy. Such habits are entrenched so much that they require quite some time for the removal. Depending upon your sincerity and deliberate efforts to remove those habits, it will take time. Once the old habits are gone, peace of mind entails no more delay. Continuing. Agnyascha shraddhadanascha shraddhadanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na parah na sukam samshayatmanah न सुखं संशयात्मनः अज्ञश्च श्रद्धदानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परः न सुखं संशयात्मनः. So in the previous verse, some positive qualities were emphasized. Positive, Shraddha, and all that. Now, some negative traits are criticized here. So both ways, positives are emphasized, negatives are condemned. Three of them are pointed out, and he says, one of them is the worst. The first one is ignorance. You can take ignorance with regard to everything. It can be of the world or spirituality. See, even to live a normal life, I should be informed. I should have knowledge. Worldly knowledge is a must for worldly life. Knowledge is power, and ignorance is weakness. Even for worldly things. Same goes for spirituality also. So that is one thing that we should really strive to get rid of, ignorance. And then ashraddha, lack of faith. Here we will be more specific to having faith in the scriptures. We've already discussed how important shraddha is in the last verse. So he's just re-emphasizing by criticizing the opposite of that. And then the third problem is samshaya, doubt. Bhagavan says here, among the three, this doubting Tom is the worst. How? Suppose someone does not know. He is not an informed person. He is not worldly wise, but he has faith in the scriptures. With that faith, he does the puja, charity, and other things. He will not get worldly benefits because he is not worldly wise. He is not street smart. Okay? So, he will not get this loka sukam. Ihaloka sukam he will not get. He will be struggling through life. The worldly joys, he will not be able to enjoy. But because of his shraddha and him following the scriptural injunctions, he will get paraloka sukham. He will be doing the right thing. Spiritually speaking, that will give him punya. So, after death, he will go to higher worlds. That punya will give him the sukhas of those worlds. So, a person who is an ajnani in the worldly sense, but a shraddhavan, he gains joys of the other worlds, if not this world. Okay, that is one possibility. The second possibility, second type is, he does not believe in the scriptures, but he believes in the pleasures of the world. He is a very worldly person. He is well informed. He has worldly knowledge. He will get ihaloka sukham. Worldly joys, he will get. He can fly Air Force One. Ihaloka sukham he will get. Not a problem. But due to lack of faith, he will not get paraloka sukham, joys of other worlds. The third type of person, one who is always doubting. He may be worldly wise, but he's not sure about what he knows. You're sitting in this class. This example may not be 100% applicable. Those days, when we had in-person class, this example will be a good example, but everybody, is in their own home. So, in any case, you are sitting and listening to this class, suddenly you get a doubt. Did I turn off the gas? Did I close the garage door? Right in the middle of the class. Gone. No more spiritual learning for the rest of the class. You dare not get up and go also. That is why it helps if you do not turn the video on. Okay, then you can run out and see. But those of you who have the video on, you don't have that luxury. So you cannot get up and go, but you cannot concentrate also. So whether it is a doubt in the scriptures or other worldly things, problem only. Then you will not have ihaloka sukham because he is doubting, worrying. He cannot have paraloka sukham because he will have more doubts about the validity of scriptures. So this is the essence of this verse. So Agnyascha Ashraddhadanascha Samshayatma. These are the three negative straits: lack of knowledge, lack of faith, individually and taken together, and then doubts. If we take lack of knowledge to not having the self-knowledge, regardless of worldly knowledge, such a person, where is the question of liberation? The one who has no faith in scriptures, regardless of whether he has worldly knowledge or not, he will not pursue spiritual goals. In both cases, vinashyati, he perishes. We say perish, spiritual downfall. Worst is samshayatmanah, the doubter. Na ayam loka sukhamasti, no joy of this world. Ayam loka, this world. Na sukhamasti, he does not have joy of this world. Na paraha sukham, not the joy of the hereafter worlds. Definitely, moksha sukham is not there. Therefore, the worst enemy is samshaya. Life needs basic trust. You should trust other members of the family. You go to your doctor, but if you don't trust him, will you follow what he says? So you need to trust your co-workers. All this is teamwork. You should work with other members of your team. All that's, you should trust your neighbors, other members of the society, fellow human beings. Trust is a must. Samshayatmanaha, the doubter, vinashyati, perishes. He cannot attain moksha. Then, yoga sanyasta karmanam, jnana samchinna samshayam, atmavantam na karmani, nibadhnanti dhananjaya, yoga sanyasta karmanam, jnana samchinna samshayam. Atmavantam na karmani nibadhnanti dhananjaya. A person must go through 3 levels of sadhanas. Yoga samyasta karmanyam. Yoga here means jnanam. The jnanam that I am that Atma, it is the akarta. Here, akartra Atma jnanam is called yoga. Person gets detached from all yoga. Actions belong to the body, mind, intellect. He allows the body, mind, intellect to function in the world, but he does not have any attachment or identification with them. Therefore, he has renounced karma. Mhm. So we discussed this point elaborately in the earlier verses. Mhm. So the first step is what we call Shravana, whereby he has gained the knowledge of this true nature. Then Jnana Samchinna Samshayam. He has removed all doubts by Manana, gained conviction in that knowledge. I do not have to convince others, but I should be convinced. That is the second stage. And the sadhana for that is Mananam. The third stage is Atmavantam. This is the Nididhyasana stage, in which he is alert to avoid forgetfulness of this teaching, not be taken over by the habitual tendencies. So make sure those are overcome and make this knowledge available to you at all time. At all time. Not just now and then. That knowledge should help me when I am in a crisis. The Atmavan is one who leads an alert life, one who has knowledge alive at all times. He goes about the world, but this knowledge is there with him. Then karmani, the karma's actions, na nibadnanti. The karmas will not bind him. The one who has done Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam. Khristam jnanasinatmanah. Khristam jnanasinatmanah. Chitvainam samshayam yogam. Chitvainam samshayam yogam. Atishtotisht Bharat. Atishtotisht Bharat. Tasmat ajnana sambhutam. Khristam jnanasinatmanah. Chitvainam samshayam yogam. Atishtotisht Bharat. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives direct advice here. He says, hey Bharata, hey Arjuna, you also get rid of all your doubts because they are your worst enemy. I've given you 2 valid reasons. And I've given you 2 lessons also. Follow Karma Yoga, purify your mind. Follow Jnana Yoga, enlighten your mind and be free. This is the basic teaching of Gita. Karma Yoga is purification. Jnana Yoga, enlightenment. Having clearly grasped this teaching, may you remove the doubts regarding these sadhanas. Therefore, he says, Jnana Asina, by the sword of knowledge, Atma Samshayam Chitva, may you destroy your doubts regarding the role of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Jnana wanted to give up actions and run away to the forest. He wanted to jump to Jnana Yoga without preparing his mind. through Karma Yoga. Bhagavan very clearly says that will not work. Cut asunder any doubts as to if you have to act or give up actions. All misunderstandings, cut it out with the sword of knowledge. Any doubt you have only is ajnana sambhutam. It's only a product of ignorance. Ignorance only leads to all those doubts. No room for doubt. Therefore, only knowledge can clear up any doubts. So cut out any doubts that you may have. Jnana asina, with the sword of knowledge. The doubt you have is whether to fight or run away and take sannyasa. You have to remove such doubts because they are hritsam. They are all in your mind. The onus is on the student to remove the doubts of the mind. The teacher can help in clearing any misconceptions. The responsibility to get rid of the doubts rests squarely on the student. I can give you Shruti Pramana, Yukti, and the logic, share others' Anubhuti experience, direct you to your own experience. With all that, you have to clear your doubts from your mind. You have to do that. Of course, you can take the help of the teacher. You can ask, if your doubts come, you raise those doubts. Then, yoga atishta. May you take to yoga. Here, that is karma yoga. This is the most appropriate path for you right now. Arjuna, your situation, that is what you need to do. You are not ready for sannyasa now. At the moment, you are fit to act. Do your duty, even if it is an unpleasant task. Of course, that action, for that karma to become karma yoga, the necessary attitude, the bhavana, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, etc., you should understand. Should not forget what we studied elaborately in the 3rd chapter. That is what we mean by karma yoga. You act with that karma yoga bhavana. Do your duty. Therefore, Uttishta, get up, Bharata, hey Arjuna, get up, pick up your weapons and fight. Do your duty. So with this, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has completed this present discourse, this 4th chapter. Om Tat Satiti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yogo Nama Chaturthodhyayah. So this is the dialogue between Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjuna. This is talking about yoga, meaning karma yoga, and Atma Jnanam also, Brahma Vidya also. And what is discussed in this chapter, titled Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. Giving up action with knowledge. Having a clear understanding of what karma is, what akarma is, whether you are a karta or akarta, all that. Okay? So thus we have, by blessings of Puja Gurudev and his grace, everything, we have successfully completed the 4th chapter. This is a very important chapter, very interesting chapter. Some unique topics are covered. This Avatara Siddhanta is there. And the Chaturvarnyam prescription is there, not talked about. And then very clearly understanding what giving up action means. giving up actions with the proper knowledge. Not just giving up and do nothing. So please review, take time to study again. All right. And next week, I will do a summary of this fourth chapter to recap everything. All right. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.